All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to crack open this ancient framework that's actually, believe it or not, super relevant for mastering your modern life. We're talking about a system for taking real conscious control of your energy, your focus, and just your overall well being. So, yeah, let's get right into it.
So let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You know, you get what you think is enough sleep, you're trying to eat well, but you still hit that afternoon wall? Or maybe your mind is just constantly racing and focusing feels totally impossible. It's a super common feeling, right? But what if the solution isn't about changing everything outside of you, but about understanding what's already going on inside?
And that right there, that's the core idea we're digging into today. Turns out, ancient yogic philosophy talks about this incredibly powerful, really intricate energy system that's humming along inside each and every one of us. And you know what the best part is? It's not just something that's happening to you. Nope. It's a system you can actually learn to consciously direct. We're talking about a whole new level of self-mastery here. Okay, so what is this internal power grid really? Well, to get a handle on it, we've got to start with the one single foundational concept that powers the whole shebang. And that concept is prana. Now, just think of prana as the universal life force. Seriously, it's the energy in the air you breathe, in the food you eat, even in the sunlight you absorb. It's that subtle, animating force that makes you, well, you. And in this framework, we're not talking about a metaphor. This is seen as the literal current of life itself. And look, this is far from some new age idea. We're talking thousands of years here. Yogic traditions have been mapping this energy for ages. They pictured it as this complex network flowing through us, influencing, well, everything, from our physical health all the way to our mental clarity. Okay, now this is where it gets really cool. See, prana isn't just one big blob of energy. It's smarter than that. It specializes. It actually divides itself into 5 different currents, and they're called vayus, which basically means winds. Each one of these vayus has its own unique direction and a super specific job to do inside your body. So let's go ahead and meet these 5 managers running your body's energy show. We're going to break down this whole internal operating system because, really, understanding these 5 currents, that's the first step to being able to consciously direct them. So here's the team: prana, apana, samana, udana, and vyana. This table kind of gives you the 30,000-foot view. You can see each one has a specific job and hangs out in a particular area of the body. It really is like they're 5 managers, each one in charge of a different department. So let's get to know them one by one. All right, we're going to start from the ground up, and I mean that literally. First up is apana vayu. This is the downward and outward moving energy. It's almost like the force of gravity inside our own bodies, you know? It's the one responsible for keeping us feeling rooted and stable. So apana handles all forms of elimination, basically everything the body needs to let go of. And that's not just physical stuff. Emotionally, a healthy apana helps us release negativity. When it's balanced, we feel secure, grounded. But when it's weak, that's when you can feel drained, heavy. It's truly the foundation of our vitality. Okay, next up we've got Samana Vayo. This one moves from the outside in. So if Apana is all about out, Samana is all about in. A good way to think of it is like your body's central processing unit, and it's located right at your core, right around your navel. Samana is basically the fire of digestion. And get this, it doesn't just process the food you eat, it also processes your experiences, all the information you take in. So when your samana is strong, you can kind of just digest life, learn from it, and you feel this sense of balanced, centered power. But an imbalance here, that can definitely lead to feeling overwhelmed. All right, now we get to pranavayu. And yeah, I know, it has the same name as the overall life force, which can be a little confusing. But just to be clear, here we're talking about a very specific current. And this is the main energizing force, the one responsible for all intake. Pranavayu is literally what you're doing this very second, breathing. It's that inward moving force that pulls in breath, food, water, even sensory experiences right into the body. And this is the one that fuels all the other values. I mean, without this constant intake, the whole system just stops. Okay, so from the core, let's move upward to Udana Vayu. This is the ascending current, the energy that moves up. It's what governs your growth, your will to stand tall, and your ability to actually express yourself out in the world. Think about it. Every single time you speak, or sing, or even just form a thought, that's Udana at work. It's the energy that literally moves up from your throat into your head. A balanced Udana, that gives you clear speech, a strong will, and the confidence to put your ideas out there. So, if you ever feel kind of stuck or like you can't speak your mind, that could be a sign your Udana is a bit out of whack.
And last but not least, we have Vyana Vayu. I like to think of this one as the great connector. While all the other Vayus have these specific directions, up, down, in, Vyana is the one that links them all together. It moves from the center outwards, spreading through the entire body like a massive information network. Yeah, Vyana is the ultimate distributor. It's the network that's carrying that life force, that prana, through thousands of energy channels all over your body. It governs your circulatory system, your entire nervous system. Basically, it makes sure every single cell gets the juice it needs. And that feeling of being out of sync or just scattered, that's often a sign that Vyana could use a little balancing.
Okay, so we've met the 5 managers of your internal energy. But this isn't just some ancient anatomy lesson, right? The big question is, why does any of this matter for your life, right now? How does this actually connect to things like self-improvement and focus? Well, here it is. This is the whole point. Your physical, your emotional, and your mental states, they're all just reflections of how these 5 energies are flowing. So, if you're feeling sluggish and heavy, your apana might be a bit weak. Feeling scattered and totally unfocused, your vyana might be out of balance. The key takeaway is huge. By learning how to influence these currents, you gain direct control over your entire state of being.
So the next logical question is, if these energies control our state, then what controls the energies? And the answer, it's actually beautifully simple. And it's something that's accessible to every single one of us, this very moment. The breath. Your breath is the bridge. It's what connects your conscious mind to all those automatic systems running in your body. It is, without a doubt, the most direct tool you have for interacting with your prana. And there's a name for this practice. It's called Pranayama. And honestly, it's the key to this whole system of self-mastery. And here's a really simple but powerful technique you can try right now. It's called Nadi Shodhana, or you might have heard of it as alternate nostril breathing. The steps are right there for you, but the process is super simple. You're just going to gently close one nostril and breathe in through the other, then you switch and breathe out. By alternating your breath just like that, you are consciously directing the flow of prana. And I'm telling you, just a few minutes of this can have this incredibly calming effect. It just brings your whole energy system back into balance. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. Your breath isn't just some automatic thing your body does. It's a remote control. It's a remote for your entire internal state. You now have a map to your inner energy, and you've got the main tool you need to navigate it. So the only question left is, how are you going to use it? That is the power of understanding Panch Pran.